The massacre in Uvalde, Texas, has made many of us stop and pause and think and feel. Many people are in despair, angry, confused, shaken at their core. And that's not unusual when catastrophe strikes and something happens in our world that just is senseless to us. So I think it's important that we step back now and really think about life and our place in life and how we deal with these kinds of situations. This massacre is exactly why I started the call to peace. It's imperative that we find out how to live, how to navigate through the times when the rug is pulled out from underneath us. And also I wanted to find a solution that worked for me, some way for me to get involved and to be a part of the solution for the strife that is happening in the world. I learned a term for this kind of work. It's called subtle activism. And I believe subtle activism is very, very important because it deals with consciousness, and consciousness is the root of all thought and action, behavior. It is the seat of all that we do and all that we are. And as we work on our individual consciousness, we change our individual lives, but we also contribute to a collective consciousness. So, I send out these weekly emails, and I've done it with programs that I've been in. Most of the time, I am very disciplined in the beginning. I'm reading all the emails as they come in. I'm taking care of the practice and whatever is suggested in the program that I am participating in. And then I slack off. Life starts to happen. I'm not as diligent. I skip some of the emails. I don't read them. I catalog them somewhere because I'm telling myself I'm going to go back to them. And most of the time that doesn't happen. So discipline is an important thing. And discipline is important because it sets up within us a basis for the times when things are rough, when the stuff hits the fan, when there's a catastrophe, and when we encounter things that set us off of our course, that knock us off of our base. And so it is important that we practice peace. And this catastrophe is exactly why we practice peace in our daily lives every single day. The reason why we are steadfast in our practice, examining our peace, the level of peace in our lives or the lack thereof. The more we practice, the more we are ready for times like this. And here in the United States and around the world, I'm sure, there are a lot of people who are set off balance by this. But things like this are happening in our world, in different areas of the world, all the time. It's just that this one is close to home for all of us in this program right now. And that's why it's shaken us to our core. But there are people who live with this kind of violence every single day. Every single day. Every single day. And it's not something that happens every few months or every few weeks or however often we have mass shootings or other violent acts that happen in the United States. It is happening all over the world every day somewhere. And that's why our individual consciousness matters. And that's why our contribution to the collective consciousness matters. There is a collective consciousness of hate, of strife, of violence, of separation. And what I endeavor to do in this program is to increase the collective consciousness of peace and harmony and unity. And all of you are a part of that. All of you are a part of that. Each one of you is a part of that collective consciousness. And the question today is, which consciousness are you contributing to? That's what this massacre in Uvalde, Texas, reminded me to ask myself. What part of the collective consciousness am I contributing to? The one of fear and hate and strife and separation, or the one of love and peace and harmony and unity? Which one? Which one? And so the practice this week is about really thinking about what consciousness are you contributing to? Where were you this week? Were you in fear and doubt? Were you angry at the perpetrator? Do you hate the perpetrator? Or can you see your oneness with him? Can you have compassion for him and his family? Can you be in the situation and not judge? Can you still radiate peace now in the midst of this? In the midst of this. This is why we practice. This is why we sit every day in the silence. This is why we endeavor to be more aware of ourselves and our own acts of violence, whether they are in our thoughts, in our speech, or in our actions every single day with the people that we encounter in our lives, with our families, and especially within ourselves. So let's take a look at our contribution to the collective consciousness and look at how steadfast we are in our practice of peace. And if we have not been steadfast, are we really willing to step forward and be disciplined in this practice of peace? Are we willing? And are we ready? I know I'm ready for peace, and I'm willing to do the work, and I am inviting you to come along. I wish you peace always in all ways. Have a peaceful day.